I wanted to start this off by addressing some of the comments that people made on my first video. First off, thank you guys for the encouragement and the support. I mean, there isn't much of you here, but I'm still happy that you guys enjoyed the video I made, as rough as it felt to me to make it. Another thing I wanted to address was the funny comment of this guy has 2 wrist braces. He knows what he's talking about. The thing about these wrist braces is it's not medical. It wasn't prescribed to me medically, but while I was at work, over time, my wrist just started hurting. So I wear these at home to hopefully give them a break so I don't strain it too much to the point of where I do need to go to the hospital. I mean, I probably do anyway, but it has helped a lot. And the bruise that was on one of the wrists has actually faded significantly since I started wearing these braces last year. So it has helped me. I will probably continue to wear them unless I do any sort of gaming. I mean, it doesn't really fit in the hand too well with the palms kind of covered. I mean, I could slide it in and just force it, but when I use a controller like this, I usually take off the braces. And another frequent comment I saw is how people wanted me to comment on Bazzite or talk about Bazzite. And this got me kind of thinking that there are probably a bunch of Linux distros that people have a bunch of questions about. So I kind of wanted to make a stream where I'm just trying Linux distros, or we could start doing that. First one, if I were to do that, would probably be Bazzite, because that's the one that's been requested by, I think, 2 separate people here, if I can read correctly. Personally, I remember 2 people wanting me to talk about Bazzite, but I only see 1 comment now. For some reason, it might not be showing. But whatever. Bazzite was one of the things that people wanted me to talk about. So I am considering since I don't have much of an audience, maybe doing a weekly stream, or if even that. I'm not sure if I should do a weekly stream trying Linux distros, or if I should do just infrequent but announced by at least a week. So if I was going to plan on doing a stream, I'd at least post an announcement and give a heads up a week in advance. That's another route I'm considering. Also, I would prefer to test them on bare metal. So not my physical computer that I'm using right now. It'd probably be my old laptop over there. It has an HDMI out, so I should be able to hook it up to a capture card and just capture it. I don't really want to use a VM, as VM specific issues can pop up, especially with what I've seen in regards to Cosmic, though a lot of that has ironed out. I still think it'd be better to try these distros on a bare metal solution. The thing with the old laptop is it has a 6th gen Intel mobile CPU and an NVIDIA 920MX Maxwell GPU. Yeah, it's a 900 series card on the Maxwell architecture. And from what I understand, Maxwell is kind of one of those in the GPU series where it works with the legacy driver, it works with the modern proprietary driver as well. But I think I had issues on Dolphin emulator of all things, where it's crashing on some custom tracks. Is kind of weird issues. So honestly, considering it's the same architecture as a 10 series card, which I believe, according to the Steam hardware survey, is still a pretty big sector of the market, it could serve as a good testing ground for others on the Maxwell architecture. But its performance is, not going to be comparable by any stretch of the imagination. So we're going to that's one route I'm considering going. I could also kind of wait and save up some money to build another rig for it. But if I'm going to do that, I would plan to just buy all the parts for a new workstation and then take my current workstation and use it for that. My current workstation is a Ryzen 3600 with two GPUs actually, my 7800 XT and my 2060 KO, which I'm trying to deprecate because I want NVIDIA out of my system. In order for me to like be comfortable with fully removing it, I'd have to take the AI framework I wrote and completely rewrite it. And well, I plan on doing a rewrite in Rust of it, but it's going to be using, I think the library for Rust is called WebGPU. That way it'll utilize Vulkan and OpenGL rather than CUDA, which for CUDA I'm currently using Cuppy as the library for Python. So yeah, that's way down the line. Another thing I'm considering doing is just taking it out of the system temporarily and then just running the 7800 XT. I mean, that's the main GPU that's being used right now. It's got my display hooked up and everything, but I keep the 2060 KO in there just in case I go back to writing anything for the AI library I partially wrote out. It can do image recognition and basically recognition tasks. It can't do generation yet. I'd have to implement some other layers for that. But it can run it makes basic AI models. I don't think it can run a PyTorch model because it's, not written with PyTorch and doesn't have any PyTorch compatibility. It's a different library that's written from scratch using Cuppy as its foundation, which is just NumPy arrays on a GPU utilizing CUDA. Moving on to that, getting back out of the AI section that I just decided to insert randomly. In order for me to do any kind of these streams, I would need to upgrade my internet first, so it'd be a couple weeks if people really wanted to see that. We'll see how that progresses. I mean, it wouldn't take too long for me to actually get an internet upgrade, but I would still post announcements on it. We'll see where things go from there. Another thing that I've been working on recently is a gaming channel. I'm not going to link that quite yet. What I plan to do is I'm going to release 2 videos. One of them is going to be for Mario Kart Wii. The other is going to be for Minecraft. I'm going to release them simultaneously on that channel. So when the algorithm picks it up, it doesn't kind of brand a channel as one game or the other. It has to deal with both videos simultaneously. It's kind of the plan. So it's more of a fragmented channel rather than a focused channel on a very specific game. And as for this channel, it's not going anywhere. This is going to be the main channel. It's mainly going to be reserved for discussions. The gaming content is going to be elsewhere because that is not the purpose of this main channel. And I don't want to list it quite yet. I want to release the videos first, and then the people who want to watch those videos, I'll probably give it like a 1 to 2 day delay before I list the channel here, just so the algorithm can do its work. And then, if you find the videos before I drop the channel or link the channel to this one, good job. I guess the algorithm chose you. What those videos are going to be about, not sure. The Minecraft one, I'll get into that. Basically, I'm just going to beat vanilla Minecraft. I've never played it. I've never actually completed the game or played it to completion. So I've always played modded of some sort. I've never even really played creative. It was always survival. So I plan on doing a actual game run where I actually fight the Ender Dragon without mods. I've never done it before. And I thought it'd be interesting, since I've never tried hardcore mode either, making my first time actually running through the game of Minecraft on hardcore mode. It's probably going to turn into how long can I survive before I just die. Really not sure how that's going to turn out, but it's probably going to be a game of survival rather than me actually beating the game. This bullet point here. The channel's probably going to be less about gaming and more about watching me suffer. I foresee this being a big topic of that channel. And back to this main channel, yeah, it's not going anywhere. The big issue with this current channel is it's kind of small audience wise. The gaming channel will be too, but it really hinders on my knowledge of topics, but I'm not sure what people really want me to talk about or want me to talk about, what they have questions about, what events they want my opinions on, etc., so on and so forth. And it's really kind of hard, like when I start talking about a topic, it's really hard to know what people have questions about or what they want answered or kind of what they're looking for. So, I mean, this video came to me right when I was going to bed, or this idea. So I'm just going to, these discussion topics or these discussion videos are going to be harder to create for me since I'm just basically starting out. They're going to be harder to create in the short term, but as time progresses, I imagine it'll get easier for me. Or if we do these infrequent streams, depending on how long the streams are, I might just edit part of the stream and release that as a video as well. That could be an option. Another thing I was considering is simply not releasing a video of a stream if the stream is short enough, but just renaming the VOD of the stream. Could be a solution as well. I'm not really sure. If you have any other discussion topics or anything you want me to look at, go ahead, feel free to leave it in the comments of this video. One topic I was considering doing a few weeks ago was the use of AI and how people are using it. So I've seen a lot of people like trying to use it as like a search engine or searching with it. And I can get into like the issues with that and why it's not really a good idea and why people should use the correct tool for the job. But back then I wasn't really feeling nearly as confident as I am now talking in front of a camera. I'm still considering doing that video, but it kind of feels like old news, so that's kind of why I haven't. If people are still interested in that, again, just leave that in the comments below. Maybe I'll put something together. And yeah, I didn't think I'd have another discussion video for a while as I wasn't certain on what I'd talk about. Then out of nowhere, this came up last night. Or all this just dumped out of my head last night. I just threw it in a notepad, spent an hour typing on my phone everything I wanted to talk about before I just went to bed. Yeah, that was an interesting night. I'm sitting here laying, just typing away. And then after about an hour of typing, I went to sleep and decided the next day I would put this together. And just to reiterate, this channel isn't going anywhere. It's just a little tricky since it's early days. I will get better as time improves. But for now, the content might be sparse until I find something interesting to talk about, or unless you guys really want something talked about. So yeah, let me know in the comments below what you guys want to see, what you want me to talk about. Any topics or discussions or events that you want me to touch on would be immensely helpful, especially like bullet points. If you have like specific areas of a topic you want me to touch on or explain, I could get into that too. So otherwise, I'll just see you guys in the next one.